every 4 years in our country, and we have voters. Here you can see voters. And there are candidates and there are results of voting. If some candidate, for instance, is first candidate and that's a second candidate, has 60% of people who want it to become president, for instance, we may see that if we're counting our votes by counting people who want this candidate to become a president, this candidate will win. But there are also many ways of voting, like separation and many methods how to make this candidate win. One of the most used methods is separating these voters for sections, like from one city, from one countryside. And if we will separate this way, like for such lines and for such regions, and its name became gerrymandering, because Thomas Jerry separated the United States by regions using this method, and he won selection without the biggest popularity through voters. The second thing I'd like to share with you is votes where are spoiler candidates included. Spoiler candidate is, for instance, candidate who has the same politic, but it takes some votes for himself, and then this candidate can destroy all selection. For instance, in Germany, in Third Reich, before the Third Reich, were two candidates. Candidate from more totalitarian politics, and two candidates from simple having simple politics.
Politicians.
Politicians. And these two candidates had more votes than totalitarian one, but third candidate took the majority from second one, so totalitarian one won. And that's why we have a narrow paradox that shows that democracy at all is unreal if we want to make it clear. That's why nowadays democracy, we're trying to choose which way we will break democracy, and that's why clear democracy is unreal, because of this paradox, gerrymandering, because of spoiler candidates there that are taking some part of votes, and we cannot make clear voting in our world because if we would have more than two candidates.
So you mean that the technology is involved in here, even into democracy, right?
Yeah, but I want to say that democracy isn't real in our world, because there always will be options how to break democracy and how to make some less popular candidates win.
So manipulations, you mean to say, right?
Yeah.
So,
And in my presentation, you may see one of the simplest way for manipulation of voters and how to make less popular candidates win.
It's one of manipulation. Okay, thank you, Vanya. It was 5-minute speech from Vanya. It was his voice. Thank you very much indeed for your presentation and sharing with us your opinion. Thank you. It was letter, which letter did you use? It was letter B, right?
And third question.
Okay, thank you. All right, next person, please. Vanya, thank you very much. 12, we can't see the screen yet. Okay, now you're starting to demonstrate. Okay, say the topic, yeah?
Can you see it now?
Yes, now we can see that.
Awesome. So my topic was online work is better alternative for the future or not.
Okay.
So the first plus is comfort. So home is the place where the majority of people feel better than anywhere. The place where a person can forget about social opinion and free his mind. This is why, from my point of view, work from home is a better option for humanity. Not for everyone, because there are works like look at it with connected with agriculture and the other things that cannot be made on the distance. So this is good, but not for everyone. Next slide. So it's safety. Nowadays, humanity faces a major disaster, COVID-19. To stop the spreading of virus, many countries provided quarantine. This means that if you are working from home, you will be safe and probably still have a work. So I would like to mention why probably still have a work. COVID-19 made big problems to business. So if you're working from home, it doesn't mean that COVID-19 won't influence badly on you. You see, if your business faces problems, you face them too. Like that. The third one is time management. So the biggest plus in this type of work is the possibility to use your time on maximum however you want. There is no more boring traffic jams that steal your time while you are going on the work and back. Like that.
What is your main conclusion? So you're in favor of online education. So it's probably one next step in education, right?
Well, I like this one. I endorse this type of education and work.
Okay, but still I have got a question. Probably some students have got a question to Dima. Julia, can you ask him something? Some critical question? Anya, you can type your question.
How will people like doesn't know anything about technology, IT technology, will learn to work online, like to, I don't know, for example, you are a doctor, you are 70 years old, and you need to like complete a meeting with your patient. And how will he learn to do it? And if he don't have a mobile phone, I mean with a screen, with a camera, a computer, how will he do it? Or a person doesn't have money to buy a nice telephone or a computer to do his work, and what will the person do?
Okay.
Are you ready to reply? You're welcome.
So it will happen, I think, in my opinion, this will happen this way. So someone from elderly people will ask for help, probably. There are many companies that give can give the support for provide the support, or they will ask their children maybe to help them.
Why not?
This way. Also, we're not talking about nowadays. Maybe in future we will become those 70 years old doctors Or
Yeah, so
that-
time flies. Yeah,
Yes.
but this is definitely the next or some extra possibility for not only for education, yeah, for all the spheres to understand that online technologies are already here. And
So yeah, in my opinion, it won't be hard to to learn how to work on a distance.
okay,
You see, many of us have studied new things, how to work with Zoom or our mainstream platform.
Okay, guys, that was Dima's voice. It's my voice in our speaking test. Thank you, Dima. Next person, please.
Thank you too.
Dima, 12 points. Thank you. It was awesome. 10 minutes of non. So this is the topic. It's my voice. It's my voice. You're going to get the letter. Under every letter, you will see 3 topics. You will choose only one, and you have to make a presentation of 3 slides only to support your opinion.
Окей, можете мне это...
Find and talk up to 3 minutes. The time for being prepared is 30-minute time, okay? Now I will share with you the screen, and you will see, we will choose this letter. All right. So the first on our list is Bogdan Atamas. So this is his letter. Bogdan, your letter is F.
Можно мне сейчас сделать, пожалуйста?
Atamas is F. It's Arseniy. Arseniy, your letter is D for today. Choose only one. Okay. Your letter. Labada.
Wow.
Okay. Your letter is B. Maidan is absent. Okay. Simeon, your letter.
Алису в конец, туда я.
It is F again. So 2 people will work with F.
Так, это мне F.
Yes, Simeon, your letter is F. Alisa, we will know your letter. Okay, Alice, your letter is C.
Можете мне открыть обратно эту
Okay, I
ссылку?
will. And Nikita Hondadze, you. At last, Nikita is with us. Again, F. 3 people will talk about F. Let's choose another, because today this is the first day after staying at home for so much time. I think that would be fair for us to give you another chance.
Ну вот судьба хочет, чтобы я F делал.
Destiny. Okay, third chance?
Да
All
нет,
right.
нет.
No, you will do this. All right.
F так F.
Fatalism, yeah, everywhere, is everywhere. All right, guys, now please find your letter and start getting prepared for their presentation.
А где этот F найти?
Here, now,
Is another alternative for marking. Why I chose this theme? Because it's really interesting. Every second schooler says that I hate homework, I hate this marking because my parents are arguing me for the bad marking. But I think it's a very good idea for marking, and also I think that homework is also good too. So why I think so? A good example of this situation is a situation in USSR and USA. We know that the idea of socialism is everyone is equal and everyone is happy. Well, the idea of capitalism is if you work more and harder, you will be more successful and richer. It means that in socialism, you don't have competitive area,
and you are not motivated for working harder or for I don't know, inventing some new product. While in capitalism, everyone understands that if you find something new, you can earn a lot of money, and this really motivates people, and they work more. And we also know the history, and we know that socialism is not a good idea of nation. Okay, and why we shouldn't change school system? If we talk about homework, homework help us to remind our thing which we did in class. So in that way we memorize material better. And if we talk about marks, I think there is two benefits. The first is that you have assessment of your knowledge, so you can know how you study bad or good. Then you can know that in this area of mathematics I am good, but in this I am bad, so I should remind this material one more time, for example. And also marks gives us a competitive environment as in capitalism, which also could motivate people, and it's a good idea, I think. And what do you think about this?
Who are you asking? Who are you applying to? Can you say person?
You.
Me personally?
Yeah.
You're asking me because I'm in the system, yeah?
Yeah.
You have started talking, analyzing the system and the society that used to be before, and you said that memorization of material was like the form of making people not to think critically because the society didn't need the creativity, if I understood you in the right way, yeah?
Yeah.
So like it was like their society for mostly for people who worked from plants, yeah, and factories, yeah. But now the society is becoming and applying more for growth mindset, technologies, attitudes to life, and probably you are right in this context. I agree with you that another form of homework should exist. And if another form of homework exists, then we need to develop the system of marking. How can we mark creativity? How can we mark the masterpiece that was just presented by an artist, yeah, and later it is becoming a very popular person. So how can we value that? Probably instead of marking, I think that you are saying about different systems, and the societies propose it like the marking in percent, in levels. Nowadays it is very popular, and I think we will follow it like the system of evaluation and assessment. When teachers will write their characteristics or short description of what you are good at, what the student can do better, and the teacher can recommend the student to move further, how to develop. It is good when you read that, and it is not a mark like in 6. Your grammar is 6, but you speak and your speaking abilities and skills are marked like 12, you see. So in this way, I will say, so you're an excellent speaker. You can present everything in the best fashion, and you use very use your logic, you can support your argument, and we are just we will practice our grammar skills. There are many issues or some topics we need to practice more to make writing abilities the same level as the speaking skills. Something like this. I think that the words are becoming more important than numbers now. It is my personal, I see that in this way the student is not stressed, but more very motivating tool, as you told, that for students, something like the words are important. What if teacher is just discussing their success of the student is important, right? How can we measure success? How can we motivate? Because the mark can it can stress you, but it can as well motivate you. And this is the good part of or side of marking system. Okay, it's my personal opinion. Would you ask some other students about that? Because
No.
no? What do you think of my proposition, Semyon?
A good idea.
So you talked about, and I see that you told about assessment, yeah? Are you happy to get the reports from teachers or the marks? What motivates you? What works better in your learning?
I don't know. Maybe reports, maybe marks. I should analyze that all because I didn't do that before. So I don't know. I can't answer your question.
But do marks motivate you?
You know, in 11th
does this
form,
work?
marks couldn't motivate because, no, like in some ways it motivates. You understand that you should have a good marks, but when you have mark 1, you are, you know, okay, and what's then? Not okay, but when you in the first class or you in the first class, when you get 1, you think, oh my God, this is the end of the world. What I should do, and other.
Yeah. Thank you. It was the voice of Semyon. He was talking
Okay, can you send me
their
please
motivation
your email?
and about their alternative for their marking system. Thank you, Semyon. Alisa?
Can you send me your email? Because I need
Sorry, I
to,
was listening to Semyon.
which is important to know is statistics and economics. Cigarettes are smoked by over 1 billion people. It's nearly 20% of the world's population in 2013. About 800 million of these smokers are men. So in China, in also 2030, was produced and consumed more than 30% of the cigarettes in the world. So there is a strong relationship between socioeconomic status and smoking behaviors. And in the United States, smoking rates dropped by half of 1965 to 2006 from 42 to 21% of adults by 2018. There are a large relation between difference in smoking rates. Okay, so it's not a secret at all for everyone that cigarettes affects very negative to humans' body. But should we ban them? No, I don't think so. Because every grown people understand the risk of smoking, so that's their considering step. But in my opinion, the real problem for our society is that most smokers start at a young age. and that makes them hard to stop as they get older. Hence addiction. So we have to apply a lot of effort to control this problem. I don't think that it can be mostly solved, but we can do something to control it. At all, cigarettes contribute toward the economy, so banning them would affect the economy immensely. Also, it is
Вы единственный участник конференции.
I think that's okay if it shows in the movies, because like, of course, everyone knows that's a really big part of people are smoking, and they can see it like in real life. So I don't think that that's a problem of showing cigarettes in the movies.
Is there any other alternative? Why don't why all the societies we try to do something about that, but we can't stop it, and like the critical step to
Because
cigarette.
as it was mentioned in my presentation, economics is really depends out of cigarettes. So it will be really like badly now to just to stop selling them. And also it was mentioned then that it will like populate drugs, because now it's of course banned, but like it's really easy to get them. So I think that with cigarettes it will be absolutely the same situation.
Some people think that it's difficult to, it's undemocratical, like to tell people not to smoke. It's type of democracy. So just, I don't know,
I think that that's a
the measure.
democracy just for people who don't smoke and they like can hear the smell of it. So we have to, as it was also mentioned, to make some smoking zones, not to let the other people hear the.
Would you deliver to someone, Alisa, and ask the opinion of others in this dialogue? Who would you like?
Что?
Who would you like to involve into our dialogue? Can you ask?
No, like if someone wants, he can of course say his opinion, but like I think.
Okay, I
just
see
if
that
he
guys
wants to.
are doing their presentation.
Maybe you can ask someone. Like I have no question for someone.
Arseny, what do you think of it? Banning smoking and just thinking of another ways to get some money into the budget of every country.
I think that everything is said and here's nothing to add.
Okay, you are not going to be involved. All right. Thank you, Alisa. It was her voice. It was the voice of Alisa, and she was talking about should cigarettes be banned from the society and what can bring money to the budget of every country. Thank you.
А какая оценка?
So, my name is Arseny and I want to tell you... Ой, ща, не, давайте заново. Hello, my name is Arseny and I want to tell you, and my topic is why should cell phones be used in the class? So, cell phones in the classroom, learning tool or distraction. These days, more and more students are bringing cell phones to class. Even elementary school-age students have cell phones in their pocket and backpacks. However, the news of, for example, Ontario's decision to ban cell phone in classroom opens again the debate about whether or not students should have cell phones in school. It also brings up the question of whatever is possible for technology to exist in the classroom as a learning tool rather than a simple distraction. For example, I have my own experience of school ban, of cell phone ban in school. When I was studying in Cyprus, we were not allowed to take phones in school. And if we even have already bring to school, we should leave it in our lockers and don't use it anywhere and any to even on breaks till the end of the school day. How cell phones can be used effectively in the classroom? First of all, you can use educational learning apps. Cell phones give students access to tools and apps that can help them complete and stay on the top of their classwork. These tools can also teach students to develop better study habits like time management and organization skills. Second one is incorporating digital platforms into lesson. Using social media can keep students interested in class and encourage them to participate in this discussion. Some teachers create Twitter hashtags or message boards students can use during class discussions to share thoughts and ideas. This can be especially helpful for students who might not be comfortable speaking in classroom. Then supplementary lesson with digital materials. Teachers can take the advantages of cell phones by providing students with resources to find more information about the topic. This can include videos, news stories, online discussion groups, and more. Allowing students to access these resources in class can help encourage participation and discussion. And the last one is providing easy access to more information. Cell phones can give students access to more information, letting them research more about the topic while having class discussion. This is especially true for current events that have not yet been covered in school textbooks. This situation, of course, have drawbacks of allowing cell phone in classroom. For example, distraction and interruption. When students use their cell phones to check social media and text their friends in class, it leads to distraction of those students as well as for their peers. This can cause distraction in class, particularly if the teacher is constantly telling students to turn their device off. Second one is cyberbullying. Cell phones can also lead to increased problems with bullying on the school ground. Cyberbullying can be harder to see than other forms of bullying, making it difficult for teachers to identify and stop when it is happening. And disconnection from face-to-face activities. While cell phones can help encourage participation by offering different channels, this can also lead to less in-person discussion and fewer learning opportunities. Learning to work together with others is an important part of students' education and can be lost with too much dependence on cell phones and other digital technology. And also is cheating. Cell phones can be a helpful learning tool in class, but they can also be used by students to access information while taking a test, leading to cheating. Even if the student isn't caught, this can lead to him or her having a poor understanding of the material in the future, and is unfair to students who studied hard to do well. So the bottom line, should students have cell phones in school? There is no easy answer for it, I think. There are both pros and cons to students having cell phone in school. Although they can be used as a learning tool in the classroom, this only works as long as students use them effectively. This means for teachers who decide to use cell phones or any other digital device as part of their lesson, it's important to set the ground rules and keep a close eye on how they are being used.
Thank you for the presentation. I hope that what the question to you. You have shared the experience about Cyprus. What do you think? Do they now use it in the class, the cell phones, or it's just for them, they keep the same policy? So keeping...
Well, I've been studying in Cyprus for 1 year, and in this period, we have used our telephone in class for the lesson. I don't remember actually for what, maybe it was Kahoot or something like this, or to find the material. We have used only 2 or 3 times.
So it's a limited period of time for some special tasks only, yeah, and you need to be warned about that. Okay, so just it was the red line for you to say always that teachers should be very careful about that. The students, as students, they always break the rules, but as well, it was very nice that you mentioned that honesty is the best policy, and understanding that the student, if he cheated, it is his responsibility, you mean to say, yeah? Not the teacher's.
No, it's his decision. He can cheat and achieve a good mark on the test or exam. But he must understand that he will cheat now, he will cheat 1 more time and 1 more time. But then on the, for example, year test or graduation test, he will not be able to cheat. And he will fail because he he didn't manage to cover this topic as well as he could.
Okay, thank you, Arseny. Are there any questions to Arseny, people? Who would like to ask him about something? Probably you would like to ask him if he cheats or not, if he's such honest student, but I have never seen him cheating.
Well, I can say I could cheat sometimes, but then I try to cover this material. Like, for example, if I'm not ready for the test, I can cheat on it, but then at home, when I have more time and I don't need to worry that I need, for example, be ready for tomorrow or for the next month, I don't know, I can cover this material by myself.
So it's like the growth mindset. You understand that it's the material you need to cover. You understand that it boosts you to learning.
Yes.
Thank you. It was Arseny, and he was talking about cheating or not and using their cell phones and the alternative ways of using that, the ideas he has proposed. cell phones in school, in class. Thank you.